What is up, YouTube? Here we are back with another automotive vlog, and we're going to keep the trend going with the interior upgrades. You know, we've done the RRW seat covers, we've done the Phoenix Automotive head unit. We recently replaced the subwoofer in the back with a Scar 6.5-inch sub. And after doing that video, I've got a ton of feedback from you. People are messaging me, sending comments, and everyone's really interested in the rest of the speakers in the car. So actually I went ahead and finally made a down selection of the 8-ohm speakers that were available, both for the front doors and for the rear doors here. And so I finally got those speakers in yesterday, and I unboxed them, took a quick little glance of them. So here shortly we're going to have a video of those installs and getting the rest of the speakers up to par in the GX, because now that I had the subwoofer, which was the worst of them all, replaced, I could definitely tell that there's a lot more rattle in the door speakers than I realized. So I think the cones and the foam have deteriorated in there, and they're just kind of deteriorating to the point where they don't even sound good anymore. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to have that video coming out here very soon. So to continue with this interior upgrade, we're going to do something simple. This is some vinyl wrap. And what I wanted to do is I just kind of wanted to finally get rid of the wood grain that's in the car. At first I really liked the wood grain. I thought it was kind of cool. I thought it felt luxurious, but the more I look at it, the more I'm kind of just not interested in having it in here anymore. So I decided to go, I was going to paint them, and then I started looking around at paint, and I thought, you know, the paint's finish could be not the greatest, and I didn't know what color to go with. So instead of painting them, I decided to go with vinyl wrap, and this is pretty nice stuff. I got this from VViViD, which I've used VViViD in the past for their waterless dry apply tint, which worked out really well. So I decided to, yeah, there it is. It's called Air Tint. So I decided to stick with VViViD since they've been making some good products here, and I kind of wanted to check out. This is their black brushed aluminum, and I thought the black brushed aluminum would look good as a replacement for all the wood grain trim pieces. So I'm kind of just going to open this up, take a look at it. Wow, this actually looks really cool. So I don't know how well the texture picks up on camera, but it's kind of like a nice brushed aluminum look instead of the gray. I was gonna go with gray, but I don't know, for some reason I thought the black would look good. So we're gonna try that out. As you can see, based on the texture, the grain of the texture goes this way, so long ways. So I'm going to try to go long ways with everything from the door pieces to the trim around the head unit here. Let's kind of show that real quick. So you can kind of see this wood trim here. I'm going to replace that. I'm going to try to replace this, wrap this piece here, and then work my way around on the door pieces in the front and in the back, and then also got a little piece over here. So to make this whole job easier, it's best to just go ahead and start picking off all these plastic pieces. They should pop off pretty easily with a plastic pry tool or a screwdriver, and I'm just gonna pick off all these pieces and get them out on a table so I can begin, you know, having a nice flat surface to wrap them on. So let's go ahead and pop those off, and we'll take it from there. Alright, so that was pretty straightforward to get the wood trim pieces out. These pieces that were in the front near the glove compartment and over near the driver's side, those popped out real easy without any hassle. There's no screws holding them in. As you saw in some of the time lapses, there were some screws needed to be taken out of the back side of the door panel wood grain pieces. It's really only 3 bolts that hold the door panel together. You can kind of see what I did there in that video. There's 3 bolts. You pull the door panel off, just kind of tilt it forward a little bit, and then you can get access to the screws that hold these in. So relatively straightforward to get everything out. The door panels that Lexus used for this vehicle are really straightforward. They're really easy to take apart, and there's not a whole lot to them, so that's pretty nice. This piece was a little bit of a pain to get out. I'm sure you saw I struggled a little bit to figure out exactly how it came apart. And then, as you can see here on the back, there are some screws holding in this wood trim piece. I don't know if I'll even go forward with using that. I think what I might just do is vinyl lay just over the top of here and then trim it out. That should be straightforward. Save a little bit of time, and it should turn out well. And then we got just a little bit here on this piece. This will be easy to wrap, and yeah, so that's really all there is to it. There's not really much to vinyl as far as some of this VViViD stuff goes. It's really straightforward to work with. I just want to pay attention to the direction I have this pattern, or this grain going in, so that everything is uniform in the vehicle and so that it looks good as a finished product. I'm gonna do this without heat just because it has a texture to it and it has a pattern. I don't want to stretch that pattern out and make it look distorted or weird. So I'm not gonna use heat at all. Other than that, let's just get to it. We'll start wrapping these pieces up, and then I have a set of X-Acto blades. Once everything's wrapped, you just go through at the end and trim out the edges. So get some X-Acto blades and some vinyl, and that's all you should need for doing this part. And let's go for it.
Every time I see you in my dreams, oh, yeah.
Alright, so I said I wasn't gonna do heat, but I actually did end up doing heat, and where it works best on these is the corner pieces up here. If you're going with a brushed aluminum vinyl like this, it's much thicker than regular vinyl is, and so whenever you get these curvatures up here towards this tip, the vinyl is stiffer and it doesn't want to hold that shape, and it actually doesn't want to stick down well. So I decided to hit it with a little bit of heat from a hairdryer, and it worked perfectly. It was able to mold the vinyl just around this corner, and it fits so much nicer now. So this piece definitely benefited from the heat. So I recommend, if you are using a thicker vinyl with a pattern on it, kind of like I did with this brushed aluminum, go with a heat torch, or go with a hairdryer and get a little bit of heat on there and help kind of shape the vinyl the way you need it to. But other than that, it turned out great. Let's move on and finish up these other pieces then. Alright, so here we are. We've got all the pieces all vinyl wrapped. It was a little bit tedious, but the key here for this thicker vinyl was using some heat, especially on this piece here. If you saw in the time lapse, which I probably decided to time lapse most of this just because it's so lengthy in time to show every single detail, but you get the gist, I think, from the time lapse of what I was doing. But this piece in general was 2 pieces of vinyl, so because I wanted the pattern to be still going in the same direction. So there's a piece that came all the way about to here, and there's a tiny little seam, but it's actually not even noticeable because of the way the grain of this vinyl goes horizontally. So it actually hides itself really well, and for this I needed a lot of heat. Getting this all wrapped around this pillar on both sides of the air vent, I took the air vents completely out, and that made things a lot better for wrapping it. And definitely take out, you know, the buttons, and then this is the passenger airbag indicator, whether it's on or off. We got this, you know, these door pieces here. As you can see, I took out these buttons just so you could trim everything easily without the buttons in the way. So everything was pretty straightforward. I did this piece, as you saw. I did not take this whole unit apart. I just kind of laid it over top, trimmed everything out, and I think it turned out really good. I used heat and threw this knob, threw some vinyl on this knob here for the shifter, and I guess that's everything. Yeah, so let's go out to the car and just start putting everything back the way we took it apart. So I'll be completely honest, this was pretty straightforward to do. It was a little bit of tediousness to do the wrap, but if you have some patience, like most of these modifications, if you have patience and you're not trying to rush, you'll have a really easy time wrapping these pieces. As you saw, the door panels come off pretty easy. There's 3 screws and a bunch of clips that just pull out easily. And then there's about 6 screws on each of the trim pieces to get it out of the door. But I just really liking this look. Let's see here, get a little bit better view for you. I just really like this texture that it has. The brushed aluminum look is pretty cool. It looks a lot cleaner than the wood grain, in my opinion. There's the back seat. Let's see if we can get that. Yep, there's the back seat. And yeah, I got this side piece over here. Now the steering wheel kind of sticks out like a sore thumb because everything else looks nice and dark. So next on the list of interior mods is definitely going to be steering wheel to address this. I had a couple of different thoughts when it came to steering wheel situations. I saw that people use the Toyota Camry steering wheel and they're able to get that to work. I have a little trick up my sleeve for revamping the steering wheel and making it look a lot better. But everything else in here is starting to look a lot more modernized. We got this nice Phoenix Automotive head unit, which really updates the look of the interior. We've got this now black vinyl, which kind of ties it all together, keeps things looking more modern. I see this brushed aluminum in a lot of newer-ish cars. Any cars that are after like 2010, even up to some of the newer ones now, I still can see examples of brushed aluminum. So it's pretty modernized to have the brushed aluminum. That's exactly why I went with it. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you think this was worth it, let me know if you actually like the wood grain, you think I should have kept it. But for now, I'm going to rock this. The good thing about it is it's just vinyl. If I ever want to go back to the wood grain look, I can always just take it off. But yeah, pretty straightforward. Let me know if you have any questions about the install process. Hopefully it was pretty straightforward and obvious what I was working on and how I did it. Like I mentioned, the key was heat with the vinyl, getting it to form and shape the way I needed it to. But yeah, other than that, it was pretty straightforward. I want to take a minute to thank everybody who's been watching the videos. Getting a lot more subscribers lately and a lot more people reaching out through Instagram and just generally activity in the comments. So I really appreciate everybody, you know, engaging with me. I have a lot of fun making these videos and hopefully you have fun watching them. If you'd like to see some newer mods in the future and you have something in particular that you're interested in doing yourself, but you want to see maybe how it works or how much trouble it causes me, feel free to leave a comment down below what kind of mods you want to see me do the GX. We got plenty more coming up for it. I have no intention of stopping doing GX videos anytime soon. I just got a ton of stuff in the works. Unfortunately, budget's not endless, so I'm kind of prioritizing certain things and working in, you know, higher priced items with some more affordable mods. Like this one was a little bit more affordable, just some cheap vinyl, but it was something I really wanted to do to upgrade the interior. But then the next few videos we'll have some other stuff that's going to be some more updates on the interior. And then hopefully here in the future I'm going to be doing a lift kit. I'd really like to do a front bumper, do one of the nicer, heavier steel armored bumpers. Looking for side mount rails to replace the current stock ones that are here because the rock sliders do look really cool on these. So I think I'm going to do a couple of higher priced mods, but I'm going to space them out a little bit just to keep things friendly for the budget. And like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the comment section. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.